All right, so welcome to a very special episode of Transitions with Dr. Tam. I am finally here with my baby boy, Joshy.
Hello.
You've been the topic of so many conversations between your siblings and me, and so we're finally happy to have you here. And so this is special, number one, because we're doing Thankful Thursdays. Okay. So all month I'm talking about what I'm thankful for, all right? The other thing that makes this special is because we had to figure out a way to get you on the podcast, and food wasn't the thing for you, okay? So welcome to our mukbang, because Joshy likes to eat. So tell everybody what you're eating.
All right, I have some chicken, some ribs with the side of fries, and some mac and cheese.
There you go. I've got some ribs. We both have rolls. I have a side of green beans, some fries, and some brisket, some sliced brisket. So we've got barbecue, and we're in Texas, so you know that's what we do. Right, Joshy?
Right.
I love it. So let's say our grace. And we honor you. Amen. Okay, so now that our food is blessed.
Hallelujah.
Because you don't have to be long to be strong.
Okay.
My bishop used to tell me that.
Okay.
You know, these 10-hour prayers. Your grandfather for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
10-hour prayers. I tell you, people are living right by the end of that Thanksgiving prayer. While your grandmother and I, we are full because we are nibbling.
Okay.
Okay?
Tiny nibbles.
How does it taste?
Really good.
It's really good.
Really good.
Got your mac and cheese on?
I do.
Okay. So what we're talking about is what we're thankful for.
Okay.
Go for it. Tell me something that you are thankful for.
Thankful for. Of course, you gotta thankful for life.
Yes.
It wasn't promised to us.
Come on.
It wasn't promised. You know, it's always those tiny things that make a big impact. I think Martin Luther King said that. No? Okay, probably did.
You literally just made that up.
He had to say it at some point in his life.
Got you.
So, yes. This week, specifically, I was given the opportunity to join this GPHD program. It's called JEI, standing for Justice, Equity, and Inclusion. I was deemed as an ambassador. Okay. We did like a 2-day program, you know, just to meet the current and the new members. You know, it was a really, really fun gathering.
You're one of the new members?
I am one of the new members, yes. Okay. Yes, it was very, very vigorous to get in it. So the fact that I did means something.
Talk to me about what are some of you're silly. What were the qualifications to get in it? Never mind. Do you even know?
Yes. For our school specifically, the early college counselor, you know, she selected 10 of the early college student, the top 10. She selected those, and out of those 4, got to represent the school as an ambassador.
Oh, you just said 10. So 4 out of the 10?
4 out of the 10, out of all of early college. Exactly. So what I had to do, I had to make a 2-minute video on why I should become an ambassador, and then submit my resume, my high school resume, and they really appreciated it. And I was chosen. I was chosen. Praise the Lord.
Okay, for all intent and purposes, something that I need to point out is that Joshua in 2nd grade was voted class clown as his end of year award. What that typically means when a student is, especially in elementary school, voted class clown is mean they play too much, right? Joshy is definitely my child that plays too much. But here's the thing. Here's what's really, really, really crazy about it. When he got that award, you would think that me, being the school counselor at the time, would have had a talking to. Josh, you got the class clown award because you're clowning. No, I was actually proud. I was so proud because I too was voted class clown in high school. So I just felt like he is a man after my own heart. Now, that clownery, I still appreciate it, but sometimes it's problematic because I'm the butt of the joke. So Josh does a good job with roasting me, and I don't know how to feel about that. So yeah, I'm glad that you are grateful that you are in this. Was it JEI?
JEI, yes.
That you're in this JEI program. Here's why I'm happy about that. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm happy about it because you are an athlete, but you're also very smart. Like, Josh calculates out of nowhere. Earlier today, we were talking to his sister, and he was able just to give us percentages of, oh, you just ate 25% of this, and that's an eighth of that, that's a 16th of that. And I'm just like, how are you doing that? Like, I mean, I know how you're doing it, but just for the sake of the podcast, I'm pretending like I don't know. Okay. But yeah, Joshy is like a human calculator, and I don't get it. So, yes, he is in the early college program. His older brother graduated from the same program last year. His sister is graduating from it this year, and Joshy will be graduating from it next year. Yes, this means I had a baby for 3 years in a row. Stair steps over here. But yeah, they all graduate with their associate's degree. So, in addition to taking college courses alongside high school classes, these extracurricular things, I'm loving that you are a part of academic things, social climate things like JEI, but also an athlete too. Are you grateful for anything involving track and field?
I am. I am.
Go for it.
So for starters, I'm grateful for giving a varsity spot.
Come on.
Right. There are a lot of fast athletes that people are just naturally born to be fast. So, they don't really have to train as hard as I did because I remember all those track meets back in like 2021, me getting dead last. Like, I would watch those videos every now and then. I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
you still have them?
Yes, I do. So every now and then I would just watch it. I'm like, wow, I got rolled. Everyone in this heat just destroyed me. But now I either one or two each race. I like, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
You did work very hard. Yeah, you did work very hard. And to say that, well, first of all, what races do you run?
I run the 400 and 800. But when I started running for my AU track team at Frogs, they wanted me to be a hurdler.
I wanted you to be a hurdler. It wasn't even them. That's one thing I can say I love about your coaches. They will figure out what is best for each athlete. So you were running hurdles in middle school, and our good friend Miss Wright sent this coach that video and was like, "Yay, you might have a hurdle here." So in my head, I'm thinking that we're going to do hurdles, and so that's how I approached the whole situation with your coach. But when they started to work with you, they realized that 800, 400, and I sprinted when I was running track several years in the late 1900s. Um, in the late 1900s, when I was running, I was a 100, 200, right?
Okay.
There's no way in the world I could conceptualize running a 200 repeatedly,
Right. Right.
like having to sprint that out. And so when I sit there and just see you and your brother run these races, first of all, you give me a great deal of anxiety. You specifically. You give me so much anxiety because it looks like you are about to be dead last again. And then out of nowhere, you just dart up to the front, especially in that 800. I'm like, if this boy, and then, my bad videotaping skills.
Right. I'm not even in the video anymore. I'm just, okay.
The bleachers look good
Right.
based on the video, but your mother is looking at you. And I think that one time I actually cried when you crossed that finish line. I think
Really?
it was one of those where you got a silver. And I cried because, for what it's worth, you're also the miracle kid. I'm not going to cry on this podcast, though. That's not what I'm going to do. But, your heart surgery in 2020.
Right.
And the fact that an annual physical so that you could run track is how we figured out that you even needed heart surgery from a hole in your heart from VSD that you had as an infant that we thought had healed itself. But back in that sonogram, when 4 doctors are literally looking over your body to figure out what's going on, meanwhile you're watching shows on an iPad.
Right.
I'm like, this boy. This is when he was 12. And so, we see that the VSD actually was still there. And that flap of flesh that we thought was going to seal over the hole in your heart actually became a mass. So you were actually carrying extra weight, which explains the nosebleeds and all of that kind of stuff that you were having, because you were literally walking around with high blood pressure, you know. But thanks be to God, all of that is taken care of. And a couple of things happen afterward. Number one, your voice got deeper exponentially, like out of nowhere. Also, you got taller than the rest of us, like out of nowhere.
Right.
And you got faster out of nowhere. Tell everybody how tall you are.
I am 6'4". 6'4". Something slight for real. You know. Both
5'9"?
No, that is disrespectful. No, I'm 6'4".
This boy actually was in the pediatrician when we were doing his physical. We got to do an annual one. And as they were taking his height, he asked the doctor, "Did you just write down 6'3"? And the doctor was like, "No." And he said, you should write down 6'3".
Let's get the right height. Let's get the right height.
So today I got this lamp to put in Emery's room. And the lamp said from floor to the top of it, it stands at 5'11". And Josh swears up and down that the lamp is wrong, or maybe the mirror is broken because the lamp is taller than you. But not by much. So you might be, I don't know, 5'9", 5'10".
Like I said, 6'4".
6'4". Got it. Okay.
They just messed up on the packaging. The lamp is actually 6'8". So, but it's okay. I don't really do like, just like holding people for the wrongs, They made a mistake and I forgive them.
You're thankful for the mistake that they made? Anything else that you're thankful for while I'm chewing at his microphone?
What am I thankful for? My friends.
Okay, tell me about your friends.
My friend, they uplift me, right? Instead of peer pressuring me to do the wrong stuff. So like, especially like with my religion, they're really, really big on that also. So they encourage me to like do certain things. They even invited me to their churches and everything. So that's very, very like motivating. Very thankful.
I love that. I really love that you have a strong faith base in your friend group, because that's not very popular with teenagers. You know what I mean? But when I pass by your room and see you reading your Bible and hear you listening to gospel music, I'm like, I love it so much because, listen, let me tell you something. Your grandfather, both of your grandparents, but I'm speaking specifically about your grandfather, Daddy. He happens to be my dad.
Right.
So Dad, didn't do a whole lot of hollering or anything like that in my upbringing. Very gentle, soft answer. Never really seen him get overexcited about things.
Right.
And the one thing that I can say that I really, really appreciated about that is he always just taught me to think about something before I do something. And I know that sounds really cliche, think before you act, but no, for real, because he would always pose the question, what will you do if I'm not around? How will you behave if there are no people watching? Like, what's your personal conviction, right? And so when I left to college, I really can attribute that mindset to why I never got involved in crazy stuff in school. I'm not going to say I lived this perfect life. I still don't live a perfect life, right? But I do think about things. I always think about, if my behavior will cause someone else to stumble, then it's not befitting for me to behave that way, right? And so I love that. And that was me as a teenager. You know what I mean? So unless something is your own personal conviction, however faith-filled your family is, it's not going to hold any weight when you're independent of your family. So I really love the fact that you have good friends and you have godly friends. You know, your friends really do encourage you to be better. Because let me tell you, you needed it. You needed it. And one thing I can say is that, you know, something about peer relationships, you know, because you can have, I mean, both of your parents are very well versed in scripture, right? But the truth of the matter is, you know, we're old, you know, and as far as we're concerned, sometimes kids just take what parents say as a good thing to do, or a good path to follow as, man, y'all old and boring. So your peers really do, or your friend groups, the people that you choose to have in your life really do have a very heavy impact. And I say that because in my role as a mental health professional, I know lots of kids who have great parents, but they have trash friends. And those trash friends are huge contributors to why they're skipping school and participating in illegal and immoral things, you know? So I'm very proud of you for your grades and your athleticism and your friends. And I can tell that the friends that you have also helped you become more humble.
That's very true. That's very true.
Because they will roast you.
Right. Right.
And I love the fact that when I'm around them, hey, Miss Lewis, you know what I mean? When your friends, no, seriously, I love the fact that when I'm around your friends, even when we were there for like college night, they made it a business. They made it their personal mission to embarrass you. And y'all know how much I love seeing my kids get clowned. I love the roasting. I want to say that that is my love language.
Oh,
High siding. Okay?
right.
Quality time and high siding. I want to tell you what I'm thankful for.
Okay.
Listen, this car situation. I'm so glad it's finally taken care of. Because driving you and your sister around, I still got to drive you around.
Right.
But Ari was having the biggest problem driving Emery's car. And it's because I didn't raise her right. She needs certain aesthetics. And Emery's car is great. But Emery's car is for Emery. She can't be behind the wheel of that Nissan Altima. Okay? She needed something girlier. And I'm glad that we finally found her car. So, yes, we did end up having to buy a new vehicle, a new used vehicle.
Right.
Okay. And she loves it. She loves it. And I'm happy about that because the BMW died a terrible death. And what I was not going to do is spend the same amount of money I spent in purchasing the car and fixing the car. So I'm glad we got that taken care of. How did it ride? Did you enjoy riding in it?
The new car? I did.
Okay.
I really did. Very spacious. Like in the passenger seat. Like I have a ton of leg room. The tires, like the traction, everything, that's good. With the turns, that's good. So yeah, I really, really do like the car.
Have you driven it?
I have not.
Well, you should drive it.
I should. The fact that Ariana gave me a lesson, she says, when you get this car, you better not have no friends in here. You can't eat in here. She was giving me a bunch of rules of things that I am not allowed to do in that car. She said if the air pressure is low, fix it. Everything. She don't let the gas, if it's in the middle mark, you refill it. You don't let it get to empty. I'm like, oh, all right. Like,
I know she didn't tell you that.
she did it.
Not when that girl had to get her car pushed into a parking space because she ran out of gas at Starbucks. Yeah, we put her on blast. I know she didn't tell you that. Now, let me tell you, I'm living on the danger zone like every day because I am always almost running out of gas. Yeah. So even when I was bringing the car home, it was on E. Well, it was on, like the mark above E. But that was way out in Garland, and we live way further south. And then it was also traffic. So I'm sitting in traffic. And let me tell you, I ain't prayed hard like that in a long time. Lord, if you get me home, I'll trust you. I'll trust you and I'll serve you all over. You know what I mean? Like that's how heavy it was because I was like, this light just came on. and I've got to exit off the freeway in order to get to the gas station, but I'm not in the most familiar area, so I don't know where the nearest gas station is. I could easily exit off onto the service road, and then it'll be 2 miles down before I get a gas station or happen to navigate through some neighborhoods or whatever. But nope, I was able to exit, saw the gas station right there, and everything was fine. I was also nervous because at one point I got caught by the train. And if the train had just stayed there probably a minute or two longer, I would have been standing there
Oh,
an hour or two longer.
right.
And Ari was already at work. So I would have had to make the embarrassing call either to her or Uncle Kev.
Right.
And God knows I did not want to have to call Uncle Kev and tell him, hey, so I ran out of gas
Right.
on 635. Because I would never have heard the end of it. It would have been another 20 years
Right.
of him making fun of me. So that's one thing I can say, that your sister, since she's experienced that, she doesn't want you to experience that. She also doesn't want you to experience it in this car because she loves it so much.
Already.
That's what, she's named it. I was like, ma'am,
In a way.
get a whole life. Okay, something else that I'm really thankful for, that you should be very thankful for. Christmas time. We kind of look like Christmas right now.
We do.
And I did some decorating. So if you're watching this on YouTube,
Some.
what? Josh, don't do that.
Oh.
What are you implying?
You went above and beyond.
Talk about it.
This house. We have the trees already up. Okay, the tree's up. Each room is decorated. She said, "Oh, just take this, go and hang it up in your room." She did that. The fireplace, decorated. It got there's even Christmas plates out. No one except me uses that table. Yeah. So, I think
Well,
a little above and beyond.
Christmas is a big deal.
It is.
And it's my favorite time of year. So I felt like it was very necessary to go ahead and decorate because why not? And nobody told you to wear this red shirt. I did not tell you. Now, what I did is I dressed up because, I'm very festive.
Right.
And since I knew that this red jacket was behind me, I wanted to wear the green to give off the Christmas vibe, and then my fancy earrings because I just like fancy things.
Okay.
I don't need a reason to dress up. I just be dressing up for the fun of it. So we just happen to match. And then I also, you all can't see this, but I'll bring it into, I've got my gold cup
Right.
to go with my gold earrings. Are you excited about the holidays?
I am.
Why?
Because I get a break from school. Get a break from school. I am constantly doing work, and it's just like, oh my. Once that week or two long break happens, I will finally get to rest. That is what's needed right now.
Rest from what?
School.
What takes up a lot of your time is track.
No.
You're not going to be resting from that.
I need a rest from the school work. There's a lot of work. I have college work, high school work, and other people's work.
No, you do not. Listen, here's what I can say about the break that I'm very excited for. I need the break from work. Okay, so this is my first full semester in a new position. And so there's still a lot of learning curve because when I took on this position, or when I got this job rather, it was the second semester of the school year. So I know what the end of a school year looks like, but I don't know what the onboarding process looks like. So I'm still learning all of those pieces. And when I tell you, it has been the Fast and the Furious, y'all see it? I come home and I crash and I'm like, I'm going to be a better mother tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to love on y'all and spend some time with y'all. But I have not been bugging y'all for hugs and kisses because I can't keep my eyes open. And I'm just actively working against being irritable because waking up in the next day, it's like, what am I going to experience now? It's like crying in your sleep because you've got to figure out another piece of your job that you don't even know it exists. So, I'm grateful. Here's where I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be working with an amazing team that helps de-escalate my anxiety, because a lot of my fears or inhibitions are because of the unknown. It's really a lot of self-inflicted stuff. No one's doing anything to me per se. It's just me having to deal with things for the first time each time they come up, and just not, I get nervous when I don't know what I'm doing. But I feel like I have enough data to say that even when I don't know what I'm doing, I do a pretty decent job, because my children turned out okay.
There we go. There you go. You
Because
did.
let me tell you, every day of motherhood, I am making this thing up. It's, I'm not problem solving at all. I'm just coming up with some things. And sometimes I'm just mimicking what's been done. I'm copying your grandparents. Okay? That's really what I'm doing. Something else I'm thankful for and also proud of. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I love it when I walk into your room
Okay.
and you are watching nostalgic things for me. Like when I saw you watching an episode of Martin, I was like, I did a great job. Like I think Mother's Day should literally be about me, just me. Happy Mother's Day to all the other moms. But if your kids aren't watching Martin, I don't know what to say about your parenting. Like I am really excited about that. What other old school shows do you like?
I watch right now. I'm watching My Wife and Kids.
Great show.
Right.
Great show.
We have Fresh Prince. What else? We have Family Matters. Let me see. I like Everybody Hates Chris. That's always, I watch every now and then. Let me see. Ooh. I watch a different one every now and then.
First of all, A Different World is all of the shows. Okay,
literally.
it's everything.
Right.
A Different World is what all of us were watching that made us want to go to college, pledge something, be a part of these organizations. Like A Different World is that show, and we all love Kadeem Hardison, who played Dwayne Wayne.
Right.
I personally see you as a version of him.
Really?
Because Kadeem, I mean, yeah, he's funny moments. He was pretty funny. All of them were funny on the show, But he was so smart and athletic.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a part of a lot of social causes. So, do you not embody all of that?
I do.
Yeah. And you be halfway thinking that you're the ladies' man, the way Kadeem did in the first couple of seasons, and that's not it.
Some slight for real. Some slight, They can't stop.
They can't stop.
Can't stop. Get
They
off
love-
me. Some slight for real.
Joshua Lewis, be quiet.
Oh.
How do you like your ribs?
They're really, really good.
Okay.
They're kind of hard to take off.
I know, because listen, what I don't want to do is be in this camera. And be like,
Right, right.
That wouldn't be great, but that's what I feel like doing. That is definitely what I feel like doing. So when this episode ends, it's party time.
Right, that's when it really begins.
That's when
That's when
the show really starts.
Right.
When we're done. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Joshua Lewis,
Okay.
thank you for finally being on my podcast.
Right.
Are you going to do this over and over again like your sister's been doing? You're not even like really shy
I'm not shy at all.
at all.
I'm not.
You just don't want to be on the podcast sometimes?
No, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Okay.
You gotta tell me when.
One day, maybe you can be the host
Okay.
and just interview me
Okay.
and ask me some questions. So let's practice that.
Okay.
Go. Oh gosh.
Where do you envision yourself in 10 years?
Empty nester. Woo! Did you hear that? Let me tell you something. That was a great question. In 10 years, I will have a 26, 27, and 28-year-old. I will be living my best life. I may even be a grandparent by that time.
Okay.
And if that's the case, I will really be living my best life. I'm going to live life as your grandparents know it, which means I will steal my grandchildren,
Right.
not invite y'all to whatever we have going on, and just relive all of my adventures with and through them. And I'll make sure that I tag you on Facebook.
Right.
Because that's what your grandma would do. When you guys would go to El Paso to visit your grandparents, I'd see all these fun things that y'all are doing, and she had the nerve to tag me.
Right.
She's tagging me at Facebook on things that I'm not present for, just so I can see how amazing how amazing of a time my kids are having. And I love every bit of that. I'm really happy that you guys have had that experience with your grandparents and hope that you continue. So, hey, how about this? I'm taking back over my podcast.
Right.
How about this? How about when I do become a grandparent and then I get to take my grandkids,
Okay.
y'all can go to y'all's grandmas again. Everybody's with their grandmothers.
That was with the grandparents.
I really like that.
Okay.
So what do you think about that?
That works.
I think that's a great idea. You know what? You should give me a pat on the back. Let's go. I'm ready.
Huh?
Pat on the back.
It's okay.
Get your hand.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Pat on the back.
Yep.
Because you're not going to do it. I think that's a great idea. And I think that you are an amazing son. You're my baby boy. Can I call you Josh Spice on air?
No.
Joshy Poo, like I do when no one's listening?
Oh.
I hope that your friends tune in so they can hear your nicknames.
Oh. I forgot about that part. Uh-oh.
I will personally send this to their parents so that way they can all play it on their way to school so they can hear their mom call you Joshy Poo.
That won't be necessary.
I think it's a good time.
Mm-mm.
I love you, son.
Love you too. I've been waiting all episode.
This is what you're waiting on?
Wow. Wow.
What's your favorite one? What's your favorite part?
The ribs.
No, that's a lot of sauce, son. Guess what? We're still rolling.
I don't know. Let's go. Hey. Yes. Hey, guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I cannot thank you enough for your love and support. Seriously, it means the world to me. So however you are tuning into this podcast, whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, maybe you're even watching the video version of this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll be alerted every time a new episode drops. So again, I want to say thank you for being such an amazing community. We'll see you next time.